I'm Victoria Ballou. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Your intuition brought you here in this moment to choose a stack of cards, to understand what the tarot, also known as your subconscious, wants you to know right now, and also tune in to some dream symbols that you're probably having. So choose a stack of cards. Will it be under Vesta, my warrior priestess, who represents intellect and intuition, and is the main character in my Tarot Legacies Urban Fantasy series? Or is it this beautiful shell that became a fossil millions of years ago and represents growth and stability, permanence? Or would it be this amazing obelisk, this granite obelisk that resonates with power and strength? Choose which pile your intuition tells you to go with, and let's begin. All right, we'll start with stack 1 underneath Vesta, and let's take a look at your overview. This is your energy from a very broad standpoint right now. It's the balcony view. So let's take a look at what's going on with you in this moment. You have the Four of Cups. It's called luxury here in the Thoth deck. This means that everything's working really well for you right now emotionally. You're feeling very good. All these cups are full. You know, relationship-wise, this is good. Friendship-wise, you're feeling good. Family relationships are feeling good. This is a good place for you right now. Everything is feeling pretty good. But you know what? There's a challenge card here that we need to look at, because even though you're feeling really good about all of this, we always have challenges. That's just the nature of being in this life and being on the path of perpetual learning. And it's a wonderful journey, so we might as well take a look at what that challenge is and address it, right? So let's put the Four of Cups here and take a look at the challenge. Now, this could be something large or small in your life. Let's take a look and see what it is. Okay, it's the Ace of Cups. This is interesting because, as I said, the Four of Cups here is showing that you have a lot of love happening, lots of happiness in the emotional arena for you right now. So what is this Ace of Cups doing here as your challenge? Okay, Ace of Cups can mean a couple of different things. One is the beginning of a new relationship. This very much could be the beginning of a new love relationship. But if everything is working really well for you here in this Four of Cups, it might not be that. Intuitively, I get that it might not be that for you. It could also represent the coming together, the beginning of you coming together in an emotional place, right? Where things are lining up for you. Your head and your heart are coming together, in other words. The third thing that this Ace of Cups could represent is the beginning of your soul purpose, meaning that you are at the point that you are able to embark on your soul's purpose and understanding maybe what that is. Now, for this to be in the challenge position, this means if this is what it is, this means that you may not know what your soul purpose is consciously. And if so, I'm really glad you're here for this reading, because this could absolutely mean that you need to dive a little bit deeper to understand what this energy is all about, because it is poking at you. And when something's poking at you like this, you have to pay attention. So again, this Ace of Cups as your challenge card either means that you could be at the beginning of a new love relationship that is challenging you, which means it may rock the boat with this Four of Cups energy that we see here. Or this could mean that you are at the beginning of coming together within yourself, or wanting to come together in alignment within yourself, which might also be representing a challenge. Well, clearly it is, since it's in the challenge position. Or this could mean that you're being challenged with finding your purpose in life and embarking on that soul purpose, right? Think about what it is. You may know instantly, But if you don't, spend some time to understand it, because you chose this stack of cards intuitively, and there is a reason why you chose it. Trust me on that. But we have a third card here. This is your course of action called for. This is what you need to do in order to work with this Ace of Cups challenge energy. So let's take a look at what it is. You know, it's the 10 of Cups. It's called satiety. This is really interesting because here you have 10 of Cups, Ace of Cups, and 4 of Cups. So very much this is dealing with your emotions. You are steeped in your emotional life today, and it's saying that your course of action called for is to recognize the happiness, the fullness that's in your life. And you may be saying, well, I do, because I have this 4 of Cups luxury card, and I know that it's fabulous. But something is challenging you in this emotional way. And again, you may know it instantly, but if you don't, you need to spend some time with this, because this is very important. The Ace of Cups is one of the most powerful cards in this tarot deck, and that is basically because it does represent the beginnings of our soul purpose, understanding what that is and moving forward with this. And therefore, you need to spend some time with this if you don't know what it is right away. Now, from a dreaming standpoint, there's no doubt that you have dreams right now about being in water. And I would expect they are dreams of you being either underwater or diving underwater, or feeling like you may be drowning, or that you're swimming but you're having difficulty swimming. There is something regarding water that you're dreaming about right now, because water represents conscious life experience, and that is what you are steeped in right now and that you need to work on. If you do take the time to sort this out and work with this challenge energy of embracing all of this emotional wealth that this 10 of Cups represents, which includes whatever this Ace of Cups energy is, whether it's the beginnings of another relationship, whether it's the relationship within yourself that's being challenged, that you're trying to address, or whether it's understanding that soul purpose. If you can address that and bring with it your course of action of just loving it, and what I mean by that is, don't push against it. Rather, embrace this energy, this challenging energy that you're feeling emotionally. That's how you're going to move through it. Remember, love is your superpower. It's the superpower for all of us. That is going to be the way that you work through this. Okay, let's move into the second stack. Let's scoot this amazing fossil shell over on my Chartres labyrinth and take a look at your overview. This is your energy from a broad standpoint right now. It's like the balcony view to give you an idea of what you're resonating with at this moment. Okay, well, you have the 7 of Discs. This is called failure in the Thoth deck. And I'm sorry, but I'm also very glad that you're here right now, because let's address this energy, okay? Because failure can mean simply that you're feeling a sense of failure, but it can mean more than that too. It can mean that you're in the place where it's just making you feel crazy, you know, that you're kind of at a point where it's almost like you're not knowing what to do. The energy around this 7 of Discs is just really feeling just borderline desperate for you to move through this. Okay, that's what this card is saying. Because you're feeling that like there's no point in going forward with some project, there's no point in doing something because you're going to fail at it, or that you just feel this anxiety that you're really just not thinking clearly. That can also very much be a mental attitude that is taking place within you. But you know what? We have a challenge card here that's going to give us a little more information about what's going on. Let's take a look at it. Okay, here's some insight. Hanged Man. Hanged Man represents being stuck, repeating in patterns that don't serve us. This means that we are suffering at our own hands, because even though we know that we are in ourselves, have put ourselves in a position of repeating a pattern that doesn't serve us, we do it. Why? Because we are familiar with the trajectory of that pattern. We know that eventually it will come to an end. So here's how we see it up against this Seven of Discs card. This is making more sense to us now, because this is saying you need to break out of a repeating pattern that you have going right now to deal with something. It is not serving you. It will never serve you, and you need to turn loose of it. I know it's frightening. Whenever we step out of our comfort zone into the unknown, it's scary. I understand that. But where you are right now has put you in a really bad position. There's just no other way to say it. It is making you feel crazy in terms of not knowing what to do, of feeling like you're a failure at something, or maybe shouldn't even attempt to do this. This is energy that's saying you must break out of it. Now, we have this third card. It's called the Course of Action Called For. This is the way you address this challenge energy and this overview energy. Okay, it's the Queen of Discs. This is a solution right here. Queen of Discs energy is all about moving through the wasteland. That's what is here, right here, is the wasteland. But yet here she is up on the top of this beautiful mountain, looking down over this wasteland in front of her. And look what she has here. She has her amazing antlers, horns of wisdom growing out of her head, and she has her scepter, which tells us that she's in control once again. And you know, all of this deep green around her shows this is abundance here. She has come through the wasteland. Now, discs represent our physical lives. They represent the practical aspects of our lives. So this being the challenge card, what this is saying is that you need to think through where you are right now and recognize that you can move through this energy. And it needs to come in a very practical sort of way. You know, the Queen of Discs is also, she's confidence. Queens represent confidence and stability. If you take that attitude of, yes, I can figure this out, I'll hit the pause button on all of these nasty feelings that are running through my head again about failure, about how I can't do something. I will pause that. Actually, erasing it would even be better. And in its place, I'm going to put in the tape the recurring sentence in my mind of, yes, I can solve this problem. Yes, I will solve this problem. Yes, I will benefit when I get to the other side of this problem, which I am going to solve. Create something within your mind that's very positive, that moves your energy in a very direct and positive way. That's exactly what you need to be doing right now. From a dreaming standpoint, I bet you're dreaming of mountains, or at least climbing up a mountain. And there are probably rocks along this mountain path. You know, it's not unlike what the Queen of Discs is dealing with here, you know, in her own climb up the mountain. That symbolically is telling you that you are on a path that is difficult. But you know what? Step by step, you make progress with it. So if you're dreaming about climbing up a path or on some sort of path that's rocky, that's difficult, it could even have a river, a stream running through it, which is your conscious life experience symbolically. That is just saying you're on a path that you need to continue. And by doing what we have just discussed here, you will remove some of those rocks, those boulders that are in your way, and you will see the path clear in your dream world. I guarantee it. Now let's take a look at the third pile of cards and move over this beautiful obelisk. I saw obelisks in Egypt. Actually, I've seen them in London and Paris and New York City too. But, in their original places in Egypt, and they're phenomenal. The power comes off of them just like you would expect, just like they do with this obelisk here. So the very first card we're going to look at is the overview. This is your energy from a very broad standpoint. This is what you're resonating with right now. Let's take a look at what it is. How nice. It's the star. The star energy is all about hope. You have a lot of hope and faith right now. Faith in yourself, by the way, because this represents self-recognition. And this self-recognition comes from you being in a place where you have realized some really important aspects about yourself. You've gained some clarity and a perspective that's right on target about who you are. And so there's a lot of self-confidence where you are at this moment. And congratulations, how wonderful. What a wonderful place to be in. Of course, you do have challenge energy. We all have challenge energy. That's part of the learning that we all go through. Ooh, and look at how beautiful this obelisk resonates with this star right now. This just, ooh, I can feel the energy coming off of it. That's so fabulous. All right, so we're going to take a look at this challenge energy now. And it could be something that you recognize immediately. It could be something really big in your life, or it could be something very small. If it's something small and nagging, it's probably from your childhood, from some sort of belief that you need to deal with. Let's take a look at it. Okay, well, it's the moon. Interesting, because you have the star as your overview. You have the moon as your challenge card. Two very big major arcana cards here. And what the moon is saying you're being challenged by is you're deluding yourself on something. You have some sort of illusion going on that needs to be dealt with in your life. And I realize that we've just said you're in a fabulous place. You've gained all this clarity. But there's something that is that you need. There's some little piece of something that needs to be addressed here, because the moon speaks of you being ready to level up and move to a new threshold in your energetic situation. But first, you have to clear up this illusion or delusion. Now, it could be something small, or it could be something big. If you don't know what it is right now, it's probably something that resides in an old belief from your childhood. Think back to anything that would be a story that you play over and over about yourself that's simply not true. Usually it's a limiting belief, right? That you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, something that is really snagging you from moving forward. And again, it could be something small, especially with this star card. But this star card means you're right on the precipice of doing, taking this major leap forward, especially with this moon card here. So whatever it is needs to be addressed, because then you will be moving at 100 miles per hour with all of your clarity and hope and vision. So please think about what that is. And to help you, we have this course of action card right here. So let's take a look at what this is. It's the Queen of Cups. I'm not surprised to see this. Queen of Cups represents emotional integrity. What this speaks of is what you deeply feel inside of you resonates to the outside. You share your deepest thoughts with the world, with someone one-on-one, or with the world, however it is that you choose. But this talks about the emotional integrity of being authentic about who you are. And so this message has become really clear for us here. You are really in an amazing place where you are about to be able to level up. But there's one little thing that is causing you to not have that full entrance into that next level of your conscious awareness, of working at this fabulous new place. And that comes from this emotional integrity that I was talking about. Again, just like the Queen of Discs here, Queens represent stability and confidence. This is saying you need to come from that place of feeling stable within yourself and understanding that what you are feeling on the inside is very much okay to resonate on the exterior. Now, from a dreaming standpoint, I would expect that you could be flying at this point, or maybe having some difficulty in flying. It feels like with this star card, you are really taking off. And I love it when I fly without an airplane, without any sort of help. It feels amazing. But with this moon card here, it's saying you probably are having a little bit of difficulty doing that you might be bumping the ground as you're flying or not gaining the altitude that you would hope that you gain. Flying is probably very much what you're having dreams about right now. And if you address what that nagging belief is, that story you're telling yourself that's not true, you're going to turn loose of that and you will soar in your dreams. And I really hope that you do. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to know more information about tarot, dreams, astrology, past life regression, soul healing, there are so many subjects in my magazine called Astrologic Magazine. It's online and you can subscribe to it. It really brings the metaphysical world right up close to you with all sorts of articles that help you understand how to bring ancient science into modern practice to help you move forward. And that's really where we all are right now, is needing to be part of this questing community to help us move forward, not only individually, but as a community. Thank you so much for joining me.